We are live. It's your boy, Carlos Siqueira, in the house. And because you are here, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down. Let's get it. This is welcome to another episode of the Crypto Meta Show, your best news online show in the interwebs. We are not here just to inform you, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to transform you, the wealth generations to come. And speaking of wealth generations, I know that is lame, but I gotta drop a disclaimer. I'm not your financial advisor. Nothing here that I talk about is legal or financial advice. My lawyers thank me for that. Let's get it. So today I want to talk about, it's a lot of stuff going on in the interwebs, in the metaverse. Got my special hat here. You know, as you guys see, we open up the show with the car racing space with my brothers Max Keiser and Michael Saylor, because we were wrong. Earlier this year, in February 18, I did an episode, and I have the greatest Max Keiser and Stacy Herbert, the godmother and the godfather of Bitcoin, on the show. And Max predicted doing the show live that Bitcoin was going to be at $220,000 right now. And I agree with him. No, we were wrong. But what happened? What do I always say? Whenever I'm speaking on the stages around the world, when they say no, we say next, right? It happens to the best of us. Hopefully, we're not going to be wrong again. No. But, you know, everybody, not just Max Keiser, Plan B, everyone, all the big players in the game, we were all wrong. None of us expected Bitcoin to be below $50,000 by now. So what is happening? What's going on? Why is it? Is it because NFTs took all the money from Bitcoin? Is it because governments banning Bitcoin? Is it because God knows? So I want you guys to type in your opinion. What do you think is going to happen to Bitcoins and NFTs? Because now NFTs, you know, is slowing down a little bit. A lot of the big projects out there have a few projects that are making money. But as I always say, 90% of the projects right now, people, they cannot sell it. They are stuck with it at a way lower price than what they paid for. That's why it's very important that you are doing your homework on the projects, on the communities, on the leaders behind each project. The project has a leader that cares for the project, that is sustainable. Just like you buy a stock of a Fortune 100 company, right? The company has a strong leader. Look at Apple. You know, when Steve Jobs were there, the company took off. Mind-blowing things, creation. They unleashed their creativity, and the things that they accomplished as a company was incredible. So it's very important when you're getting into a crypto project or a NFT project or in the metaverse space, that pay attention to who's leading that community. That is this whole sentiment, and talk about, oh, but we have a community, Carlos. Yeah, but the community is important, right? Because we always must to come in unity. I'm the first one to preach about that. As you guys can see, I'm old school. So about above oneself, coming together as a community. But if a community doesn't have a leader with a vision, it's not going to move, right? If we go back in the day, and you ask in my school back in 1994, 95, we all knew who the Chicago Bulls were. Why? Because MJ, Michael Jordan, baby, was leading Chi-Town, was leading the Bulls, and everybody knew who the Bulls and Michael Jordan was anywhere in the world. Why? Because he was leading that team. He was leading the community. We all wear, you know, stuff from the Michael Jordan, from the Chicago Bulls. We all have the jerseys and the cool stuff. But if you ask nowadays in the same exact school who the Bulls was, I bet you they cannot even name one person. And that's why it's important that going forward in 2022, The way how we're going to know whether the project is going to explode to glory or if it's going to tank or if it's going to go to, I don't know where my fart button is, but it's supposed to be here, but it's so good. We're not going to add it. You guys know how we roll. So let's get it. Let's talk. Let's see what's happening out there because there's a lot of things happening in the industry. Let's share some news here with you guys today. You guys want to know a funny fact about me? When I got into Bitcoin, I've been learning and studying. You guys know me. I'm a student of whatever I do. I'm an eternal student of the game. Like the Grandmaster Jim Rome, I will go to my coffins with books and notes and the letters for the thousands of people that I received over the years, people that were suicidal. They are alive now and thriving because I showed up in their community, in their states, and I spoke life into them. And when I got into crypto, in Bitcoin, and started learning back in 2016, for the first year was all like looking to it, starting it. I wish I would have bought back in 2016, but I didn't bought until 2017. And 2017 was the worst year to get into the shit. 2017 was horrible. As you guys can see over here on the screen, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that you guys can see this even bigger. But look at Bitcoin patterns. And this over here is primarily, as you guys can see over here, 2017. Look at 2017 right here. Imagine getting into this shit in 2017. And this is the importance of paying attention and following the money. Looking at the companies, retail coming through, the big players that are coming in. And these, I want you guys to really think about this as we go on with today's show, talking about Bitcoin, crypto, and NFTs. Is it exploding or is it dying in 2022 and beyond? Let's talk about it, right? Because when I got in 2017, look at this shit, right? Imagine you getting in here and then you're like, and you go, okay, a little drop. Okay, yeah, buy the dip. And then it keeps dropping and dropping. And then as the year goes by, look what's happening for every single person like myself and many people that follow me and then listen to me back then. It wasn't that many that would listen back then, right? Because I was new. I was just getting into the game. But for the ones that did, look how well it paid off. And then it didn't feel good. That's the stuff that nobody talks about, right? When it goes over here, gets to the top, and then you get a 33%, dip, and you're like, oh shit, I just put in, let's say you put in 10 grand or 100 grand, right? Let's say if you have 100 grand and you take the money from your 401k or your bank or your savings or your CDs, or you sell a few things, a few properties in investments, and you go and you put in 100 grand or 10 grand into this thing, and it dumps 33%. And you're like, oh man, I'm just gonna sell it. Screw this, it's a scam. It's only for hackers, and people are using this money underground and the dark web, and the government's gonna get you. And it was all this FUD going on back then. Everything was a conspiracy. It was the dark web. It was governments. It was this. It was that. Trust me, it was crazy. And so, your family members, they start questioning you. Like, what are you doing? You're going to buy the dip? And it went down 33%. So for every 100 grand that you put in, you lost $33,000. It wasn't cool. Trust me. But think about it, right? If you wouldn't listen to all the FUD, all the fake news, all the BS out there, right? Then what would happen? You would go and look right after that dip and shoot it right up. And then here you go again. Now you're like, okay, now I got my money back and I made even like double, I triple it, and then 38% down. You're like, no, now it's 38%. I'm like, the 33% you survive when we get to a 38% dip, especially back to back. It messes with your feelings, with your emotions. Like I always talk about, I have helped a lot of people make money with their brand, helping them sell their products, their services, their NFTs, their books, their masterminds, their retreats. But the struggle is real because even when you get there, it's never going to go away. It's always going to be something. Because why? We cannot control when the leader of the movement, of the NFT, of the metaverse, of the new thing going on in the future, whoever that thing is, when somebody, whether the leader of the project or somebody in politics, is going to say something stupid. Why? When people are going to start tweeting FUD, or people are going to be paying media companies to promote FUD just to get people to sell your bags, right? Unfortunately, it happens out there. People actually pay for articles in major news companies and media companies to promote shit that is not true. But again, that's why it's very important to do your discernment. And when you get yourself into something, really be in it to win it, right? You got to be in it for the long term. And that's why I want to talk about this, because it's super important. And I survived that year, 2017. That was brutal. Whoever survived, and if you've been here since 2017, type in the comments below. Let me know, because what a brutal year 2017 was. Hey, well, I'm telling you, and many times I told myself, oh, I'm selling this shit. Trust me, it happens to all of us, ladies and gentlemen. It happens to, I don't care how much training you have, it happens to the best of us. Trust me. I've been trained by the best people in the planet, right? Les Brown, Tony Robbins, all the greatest, I've been studying. I've been a student of personal development, but it happens to the best of us. Nobody can escape from this. So that's why it's super important that when you guys are getting into the game, you are in it to win it. You have a 5-year plan. You have a 10-year plan, right? And then just go with the flow. Dollar cost average, right? If 2017 happens again, who knows? We cannot control what's going to happen. It's always going to be FUD, right? You heard about the China FUD. They banned all the crypto miners out of there. Everybody was freaking out. But then what happened? Who benefited? Thailand. They moved so many mining companies down there. Mexico, Brazil, El Salvador. All these countries now, Texas, US, over here in our home backyard. All these countries benefited. China lost. All of us won, because why? It all came here. It's going to shift. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to shift from one place to the next. It's like Mother Nature. I talk about this all the time. You cannot go against, who wins. This article over here, and I was looking at it and reminded me of the 2017 brutal corrections that we were, going on. Let's see over here. What else? So I talk about Max. I want you guys to check it out. So Max was on my show. If you guys go to carlosinspireshow.com, that's my other show that I interview amazing leaders on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:35 p.m. And I upload the show on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio on Thursdays and Fridays. Every week, I either interview CEOs, celebrity, athletes, everyone in between. And then I upload the episodes. As you guys can see, we have some amazing people on that show. We had Frank Shamrock earlier this year. 2021 has been all these legends, right? We had Scott Page from Pink Floyd, and then Max Keiser was the show on the 18th. You guys can listen to all these shows. It's all free. Amazing content, all for free. Just go to carlosinspireshow.com. That will take you to Apple. Drop a follow. We have hundreds of reviews, a 5-star podcast. Amazing people there that has been in my show, from rock stars to people that have made hundreds of millions, and great content, guys. Things that people pay $30 to $50 to $100,000 to go to masterminds and learn from. So let's see what else is cooking over here. Look at this tweet. So not Jerome Powell, right? He said, here's my updated Bitcoin chart for 2022. In his mind, his thing is going to do what it did back in 2018, right after we survived 2017. So hopefully he is wrong. Let's see what else is happening. Bitcoin right now, according to CoinDesk, we are at 47,248. As I talked about yesterday's show, I think we're going to be below 48,000 until CME closes tomorrow. As you guys know, the max pain point of 48,000. I don't want to get into CME today, but, the forces are making sure that Bitcoin stays below $48,000 for a reason, so that they can profit and benefit. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, just go to yesterday episodes, cryptomatters.show.com. It will take you guys to my new YouTube account. You guys can also listen on Clubhouse. And then let's see over here. Let's take a look at my Twitter and see what's happening. Follow me on Twitter at Coach Siqueira. Shout out to the Shiboshi projects. We are donating my Shiboshi right now to my farms in Brazil so that we can raise more money to feed people facing hunger. So I'm going to give myself a like. I like this guy over here on TV. Look at him. All right, let's talk about Michael Saylor. Michael, so basically the MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 1,914 Bitcoins, $94 million in cash, an average price of $49,000 per Bitcoin. As of 12/29, which is my anniversary, thank you all for the thousands of messages and throughout social media for my anniversary. My wife and I, we read as many as we could. Yesterday, we had a great time. We had a chef come over, surprise her for dinner, and it was an incredible, incredible day. And 14 years blessed to be married to my best friend. And but you know, back to up to yesterday, you know, now they are hodling 124,391 Bitcoins. The MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor now own value. They acquire for $3.7 billion, average price of $30,000 per Bitcoin. But here's something funny, right? Michael, yesterday I talked about text harvesting, right? Which we went deep yesterday talking about it. And I want to show you guys over here, perfect example. Look why you must to follow the money and you must to study smart people and what they do. Michael, look at what he did here. He purchased the month of December, $94 million worth of Bitcoin, average price at $49,000. What is the Bitcoin at right now? According to CoinDesk, 47 grand, right? In the last 24 hours, right? Went to 45.9. But the month of December, he purchased of what? Average price of 49,000. You might be thinking, why would he pay more? Why he purchased at that average price? Because now the loss, because he made so much money this year, the loss right there that he purchased at a loss now can be written off to offset his gains in taxes, ladies and gentlemen. You see, again, not a financial or legal advice, but I want you guys to understand how the rich people operate. I love my brother Michael. He's always out there educating, dropping massive value to human beings in this planet. Hopefully we have Michael on the show one day. Just putting it out there, brother Michael. Your brother Max Keiser been on the show. You are next, family. Just putting it out there. That's how you do it, right? You put it out there, and the universe, God, our prayers will conspire to make that happen. But you see, Michael, very smart man, right? When you think about it, if a billionaire purchased another $94 million in Bitcoin in the midst of all the FUD, right? All the people out there, you know, just like talking crap and fudding and wanted to make sure the people are gonna, all this FUD, ladies and gentlemen, is to pressure you to sell your bags so the hedge fund, the big players can buy it. That's what I always talk about it. Diamond hand, dollar cost average. Whenever you see the bloody red ocean, that's when you get in the game. That's where you get in the game. Follow the money. Study the titans. That's how I became very successful in my life in coaching so many people in my previous career as a consultant for 20 years, right? Helping Fortune 100 companies, coaches, authors, speakers. The reason why I was so successful and I was able to make millions of dollars and helping them make so much money is because I understand the trend. The trend is your friend. When you see wealthy people, billionaires, putting money into something, pay attention. Look at the big companies, Google, Facebook, MicroStrategy, Tesla, Apple. Look at their balance sheet. What are they investing in? Look, understand, income statements. Understand how money works. You see, understanding money and sales and marketing is your twin tickets to freedom. It's one thing that I preach over and over and over again, and I pray that every single one of you and your family members really start understanding in depth money, sales, and marketing. If you do those 2-3 things right there, you're never going to go hungry. You'll create enough income in the next 8 years before this decade is up that will last generations to come. Just keep showing up over here on the show, but don't trust me either. Question everything. Trust no one. Whenever you learn something, whenever I talk about a project or I talk about something, study it. Go deeper. Ask yourself questions. Let me look into this. You're in doubt before you react. What else does that mean? Ask yourself more questions. Self-reflect, right? Super important, because there's a whole lot of things out there. Even like legendary people like, Plan B, right? Has never been wrong. And this year, he was wrong for the first time of his Bitcoin predictions. But even him, I love it that over here, he's being straight up and he talked about, because like I say, this happens to all of us. Successful people, hyper successful. It happens. We are all humans. We all go through fears and anxiety, and it never goes away. If somebody say it, do it, they lying like crazy. But look what Plan B says on this Twitter. I use models to protect myself from emotions. Right now, most people, including myself, fear further decline of Bitcoin price and want to sell. And this is somebody legendary that has a whole bunch of Bitcoins, right? Billions we're talking about here. But look at that. He's saying that they all want to sell. But the S2F model shows Bitcoin is at the low end of $50K to $200,000 on this first band. I'm talking about trading and technical analysis here, but just stay with me. The first band is a buying signal. So likewise, 200,000 will feel like Bitcoin will rise rise forever. But, S2F is going to tell us to sell. So this is the thing, right? This is going to happen at all these levels, at 50K, at 100,000, at 200,000. That's why it's important to dollar cost average and always take a little bit of profit off the top. So if the thing goes to hell, you're playing with house money. You're becoming the bank. You're becoming the casino. And that's what the big players out there, the most powerful people on the planet, they don't want you to learn that. Yes, I said it. And what? You feel me? Because, I want you guys to understand this, right? Look at this chart. So a lot of very intelligent people, we look at charts, we look at what's happening, and we look at politics, we look at the news, we look at multiple things. We're looking at what the richest and wealthiest people on the planet are doing, where they are allocating their cash. Because the trend is your friend. Just follow it, and you're not going to go wrong. You're seeing all these people putting all this money in buying Bitcoin right now. It should tell you something. Even though, sometimes we're going to get the signals, to sell it. Cannot trust the chart. Don't trust. I talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to repeat it again today, about don't fall in love with people teaching, trading analysis and technical analysis in the charts. Because, I see art in the chart. I don't like to go too deep within the chart. I call my friends who are very good at this thing because they have 1,000 screens. I have a few screens, but I cannot stand and look at them all day. Hell no. I like to go to the park, swim, go skydiving and do crazy stuff with my spouse and my daughter and go have some fun, and have a great time. I'm not going to look at goddamn charts all day. But I look at I pay attention to what's trending. Because if you pay attention to what's trending, it's always going to be a happy ending. And don't think I'm talking about crazy happy ending. It's good happy ending, But let's see what else is happening. NFTs, I'm not going to get into NFTs today, but as a lot of NFTs, we're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen, into the NFTs. It's people are buying lands and shopping centers and, freaking boats and yachts on the interwebs for millions and millions of dollars. It's not going to go anywhere. It's always going to be FUD. 90% of the projects out there is going to be, unfortunately, they are going to crap because, a series of factors, like I talk about all the time, you have to have a strong leader. You got to have community behind it. You got to have utility and must to do something. Unfortunately, 90% are going to crap, but it's going to grow. It's growing. The Metaverse NFT space, we are just getting started. Mix some water here, and we don't have to edit it either. But it's not going anywhere. But here's something cool. So many things happening. Nifty's, and this is from Cointelegraph article. Nifty News, Decentraland, Times Square, New York party. So basically, New Year's Eve party. Mutant apes go banana and more. This is gonna be cool. There basically is a big old party in Times Square for New Year's Eve for Decentraland. Since because of all the FUD and fake news and true news, whatever you want it to believe, you cannot go party in New York like humans, right? Hug and kiss. Who missed this stuff? Type in below in the comments. Say yes. I have my little my funny hat today. I'm having a great time here. So you got to have a great time. Whatever you do in life, it cannot be boring like, most news anchors out there and people that interview, they're so serious and they tense. No, see, whenever I do my shows and I interview people, I want them to have a great time, right? You got to have a great time. Life is too short. As I always love to say, you got to live as if you have one day, not one more. And speaking of interviewing people, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, our own GetOnMoreStages.com. And right now we start a new campaign to interview CEOs, founders, startups, NFT artists, authors, speakers, coaches, consultants that want to share their story. They want to share their projects and what they have cooking for 2022 and beyond. And all we are asking for, first, you got to email us your story, your links to your social media, so my team can look into yourself to make sure that we are not bringing just anybody in the show, so that we can make sure that it's also in alignment to our tribe and our followers that love and watch the show. We have 2 shows. We have our Carlos Inspire show and we have our Crypto Meta show. So we will know which show to put you on. And all that we are asking is a donation, a minimum donation of $5.99. And 100% of that is going to go towards my farms in South America, where we are feeding families that are facing hunger. So it's going to be a great way for us to raise additional money towards, I normally don't like doing those type of things. I fund all my projects, but I decided to do something different so that we can help you share your message. I give you some coaching on how to tell your story, how to share it. That's one of my gifts, one of my superpowers. I train just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of speakers and coaches and consultants and authors and CEOs and startups on how to pitch, how to tell your story in a way that's compelling, in a way that's going to get the audience to keep their eyes off you. Because at the end of the day, your brand, your products, and your services, they live and they die based upon how you tell your stories. I want you guys to let that sink in for a minute, right? So if whatever you are selling out there, if you're not selling it enough, if you're not making enough money, you have to go back into the foundation to understand, how are you telling your stories? Is it compelling? Is it intriguing? Are you leaving your audience wanting more? So you must think about all these elements. It's very, very important, because imagine if every time that you say something, you told your story, at the end, you don't want them just to be motivated, because motivated is crap. You want them to be inspired. You want them to be transformed. You want them to reach out to you and email it to you and say, I need your help, Carlos. And that happens every time when I'm speaking on a stage and I'm teaching, because I'm focusing on adding more value to you than anybody else out there. And I have no expectations whatsoever. If not one person email me today after this show, I don't care. Because I know that people here right now are being served. They're coming here, they're getting news to help you take it to a whole nother level. So let's see what else is happening out there. Let's take a look at Crypto Panic. Right now we're looking at this live. We're doing this a live show, and I'm bringing you guys some news and live updates. But that's pretty much some of the things that I wanted to cover on today's show. I'm going to do another show here. Nothing too crazy happening since we started the show that we're going to cover today. And I want to share with you guys something cool on OpenC, some hacks. And then I will do another show on explaining to you, so to make sure that you don't get into a bad project, or that you get stuck in a project, and knowing when to get out of a project. So this is a hack that I use that I want you guys to apply. I did a quick video yesterday on TikTok, but it was quick. It was 60 seconds. Check me out on TikTok at Carlos Inspire. Follow me there. Follow me on Clubhouse at Carlos Inspire, and on Instagram at Carlos Inspire. But basically, I want you guys to go to OpenC, and then OpenC.io. Under stats, you're going to click under rankings, right? Under rankings is going to show the top NFTs right now as of today. It's defaulted to the last 7 days. So let's just pick. Let's pick one of the top 10, for example, right? Let's see over here. Top 10. Let's look over here, some of the numbers, volume, owners. One thing that you always want to look is the correlation of owners to the items. And you want to make sure that that number is at least somewhere between 30 and 60%. 30 to 60. The higher, the better, right? Look at over here, right? Mutant Ape, they have 11,000 owners, just 17,000 items. Incredible, right? Wondering why they are number one. Heavily community, the correlation of items to owners, extremely high percentages. Look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, 6,000 owners to 10,000 items. That's 60%. That's incredible, right? CryptoPunks, look at that, 33%. Look at Prime Ape, damn, 5,000 to 8,000 items. That's 70% right there, right? So those are the things that you wanted to look. There will be, times where like the Sandbox, right? 17,000 to 100,000 items. Sandbox is huge, it's immense. It's the Metaverse world, there's NFTs, there's so many things. Shout out to Sandbox, I love it. And but there will be times when you're gonna see projects that's below the 33%. But for the most part, for 99% of the time, you want to see that correlation of 30 to 60%. That's the magic number. The higher, the better. 50, 60, you're looking at a very good project, because it's hard to fake it and buy that many followers and fake bots to do that. So those are some of the things I want you to look at it first. And then what we're going to look at next, let's see over here. Let me see if anybody here, anything funny or silly here. Let me look at these numbers real quick. I'm a numbers guy. Okay, let's look over here. 68% the last 24, 26% down in the last 24 hours, 24% down, but in 7 days, 151%. Okay, let's take a look at Psychedelics Anonymous. And again, I have no affiliation to this project. This over here is just a teaching moment to you guys. So let's take a look. So according to this project over here, right? So then we already, the first thing what we're going to look for, number of items to number of owners. And I will do another show so we can go more in depth on this. So it looks good. 7,000 owners to 99.6 thousand items. Very good, right? 70+% according to these numbers. And then we're going to look at activity. Right here on the front page, just click on the activity. It's going to be default to the sales. You're going to scroll down. I want to look at the number of sales versus the number of listings and make sure that there isn't more listings going on than what is being sold. And I also want to make sure that nobody's undercutting the floor price. And all this data you can gather here in the front page. So stay with me, right? If people are undercutting the floor price, it's not a good sign. It's something weird is going on if you see that happen, right? Something's up. So this is very important thing so that you know when to get out if somebody is trying to literally rug an NFT project, for example. So over here, we look at floor price 1.1. Let's take a look at their sales. First one over here we saw. So somebody sold one 1.5 a minute ago, 1.1 2 minutes ago, 1.5 a minute ago, 1.1 18, 109, 1, 3, 1, 1. As you guys can see, right? Pretty much everything above floor price of 1.1. I think I saw one over here that was 1, but that's not a big deal. If you see something, oh, that one was 0.1 less than the floor price. Not a big deal. It happens, right? So looks great. So now let's take a look at the listings over here under the filter. If you're on your mobile device, just click filter. Then it's always defaulted to sales. And then what did I did? I click listings, unclick sales. And now let's take a look at the listings and see how often are they being listed and for what price. We want to make sure that's not more listings than what is being sold at an undercut at the price below floor price. So those are like hacks to pay attention to. I want to make sure you guys don't get hurt out there like many people in 90% of most NFT projects. Unfortunately, there's a lot of that going on out there. And that creates the FUD, right? That's why so many people saying, I was going to go to shit, but it's not going to go to shit. It's actually we're just getting started. There's a lot of great things happening. But as we can see over here, look, all the listings are going well. We see them being listed over here. Great. Above floor price. So that's great. That we can see over here one only being listed below. But everything else is above floor price. Looks pretty good. Very good. And then a minute ago. Okay. So you see, I don't see any abnormalities this. So according to my strategies, with my analysis of NFTs, this looks as a very great project. Again, I have no affiliation to this project whatsoever. I do not own an NFT into this project. I just want to use as an example of one of the top 10 projects as of this day, December 30, 2021, to share with you guys this. Let's see anything else going on over here. This is a great tweet by the venture founder on Twitter. The whale is back. The third largest Bitcoin whale wallet took a pause on buying Bitcoin when price went above 50,000 briefly in the past week and finally added 120 more Bitcoin today for 46.9 thousand for a total of 5.6 million. Here's something that is interesting, right? Notice how the three most recent buys were under 47,000, right? And how much is Bitcoin now? Bitcoin now is at 47, but Bitcoin was as high as like this year, what, 50, 60? It was crazy. There was 60. My mind went blank right now. But as you guys can see, a lot of these sales over here are happening. Like I was telling you guys earlier, right? A lot of people, you see a lot of movement going on because a lot of people trying to make sure that if they got losses, they want to have some tax. My team is laughing over here. I'm not gonna get into tax harvesting right now because that's a loophole right now that's probably gonna go away. They took that away. Listen to yesterday's show and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. But this is very interesting. You see the whales are back purchasing a whole bunch of Bitcoins. And then the day's been a great year, right? Tesla, they bought up 1.25 billion early this year in Bitcoin. I mean, all the big companies are buying it. The DeFi, is just growing, lending, and the DeFi space. Look at that; they have $99 billion, locked in. Just incredible. Pay attention, to all the big players in the DeFi space. As I always say, you want to diversify yourself into the big top 10 crypto coins, top 10 DeFi projects, top 10 gaming crypto NFT projects. All of those, DCA yourself into them, my friends. Buy when this thing is red. Again, not a financial advice, but just things to look for. And there we have it. I think I went through everything that I wanted to cover today. A shout out to BlockFire, show sponsor. You can earn up to 9% APY and get up to $250 on us by supporting our show. You can click on the links below, and then you'll be supporting our shows. And I appreciate all of you always showing up. And as I always say, showing up to blow up and showing us some love. You guys have an outstanding day. Make sure to check it out. The episode that I did with Max Keiser earlier this year and Stacy was a great show. Just go on Apple, give us a follow, karate chop the like button, turn on the notifications button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get out there and make magic happen. I want to wish you all a happy 2022 is going to be a very prosperous year. I am feeling we're going to have a great time out there. As you guys know, my mission in life is to make poverty history. Every single thing that I do. So about the mission, never the commission. Nothing makes me happy when we are out there helping people, doing more for others than anybody else. Just keep showing up. As I always say, if you feel like giving up, you know the drill. The days that breaks us are truly the days that makes us. I'll see you all Monday through Friday, 12:35 Pacific time, right here, the best crypto news show online. And check it out, our podcast, Mondays and Wednesdays, if you want to see it live. And we uploading our podcast every Thursdays and Fridays on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Music, Amazon, and everywhere online. Have an outstanding day.